Hello and welcome guys. Today in this tutorial we will be looking at pandas, what it can does and how we use pandas to import data and do some analysis like reading, summarizing data frame, sorting data frame, creating series, indexing series. All those operations we will be seeing in this tutorial. So basically let's get started. So first of all, the brief introduction will be like Panda is a built-in library using Numpy specifically for data analysis, and we will be using heavily this pandas library for data manipulation, visualization purpose, building machine learning models. Okay, therefore there are two type of data structure in pandas. Okay, so first is series, another one is data frame. Okay, data frame. Okay, now basically the default way to store data in data frame and thus manipulating data frame quickly is probably the most important skill set for data analysis. Okay, and that is why learning pandas is uttermost important in data science. Okay, because data structure storing we store data in only two way, either series or pandas, and we does it by importing it in a tabular form. Okay, now what is series basically? So basically a series is like a 1D numpy array. Okay, one dimensional numpy array. So and it contains scalar values of same type, either numerical or character or date time, as well as I mean you know symbols also. Okay, and then there is data frame. A data frame is simply a table where each column is a pandas series. Okay, now what happens in terms of data frame? Basically each series will become a column. Okay, column equals like a horizontal manner. Okay, so like this. So if I use this, so this is like one value, suppose there is 1. Okay, now 2, now 3. So this is like a series. Okay, and series will be represented like this, column wise. Now each of these series will become data frame when we have multiple series like this. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, and this is how a data frame look like. So basically it is a combination of rows and columns. So basically each column is a series here. Now in upper side we will have the column names, on the left side we'll have rows. Okay, so this is how we basically read it. Okay, so let me clear this out. Okay, now we'll look into some of the examples, like how we create pandas series, how we create pandas data frame. Okay, also like series is like a one dimensional structure, like I just told you, and it's basically non-numeric. Anything you can add, like it's not like you can only use non-numeric data, or you can say just date time data. You can add anything. Okay, so let's create one and then you will get to know how easy it is. Okay, series. Now before we start coding, we have to import pandas library. Okay, just like numpy we have to import pandas also as pd, because we want to call it name as pd, not pandas every time. So this is how we will do the importing part. Now let's create one series. Okay, it's pd dot series. You will be creating like this, pd is pandas and you calling the series, and then you will pass a list. Okay, let's say 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and this is a pandas series basically. Okay, now let's say you want to print the type of s. Okay, and print s also. So you can see that. Okay, you can see that we have created one series of name as, where we storing a list of element that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 xyz. Okay, now if you want to see the type of that particular series, you will see that okay, it is coming from series class. Okay, so this is how we will be creating pandas series. Also one thing to note here is that, so for a given series we will have all the index basically. On the left side that you see is basically telling us what is the index of 1, what is the index of 2, and you can see the indexing is starting from 0 on 0 onwards. Okay, now one thing to notice here is that the data type, because we haven't defined in data type, pandas is so intelligent that it automatically understand what is the type of data that we have provided. Now let's say by adding another let's say we were passing one string. Okay, a. Okay, now what do you think what will happen? Panda is so intelligent that it will automatically change the data type into object. Why? Because we have added one string value inside the series, and this is how intelligent pandas is. It will automatically understand what type of data they have provided or user have provided me. Okay, now let's create a series of date range. Okay, so for that what you will use, let's first define a variable. Now you will be using pandas have one method, that is date range. Okay, and inside date range you will be passing start and then end. Okay, so in start, let's say 1st January 2017 to 1st December 2017. Okay, so it will create the series for us. Okay, as you can see, it has created a date time series for us, and it will tell you what is the frequency of it. Okay, so it basically identified this as month. Okay, so it's nonetheless you can also pass format other things also. So basically the idea is to show you basically how pandas create different type of thing for us, basically series, date range. So if you want to create date ranges, and you have a data now, let's say you have a 10 rows of data, and you want dates for them. So how you will do it? You will use date range function, so that it will create date for you. Okay, so this is how we do work in uh, pandas series. Now let's say we want to index it. Okay, so indexing. Okay, so it's same way. So basically let's say you want to access the fourth element. Okay, so s of 4 you will type, and it will give you what was the fourth index that I have defined. So it, as you can see, it has returned me a, because a is my fourth index. Now let's say you want to access second index onwards. Okay, what all I have. So you will put like this. I mean, you have seen, right, previous examples how we do indexing and all that. So this is how you will be passing for indexing. You will be passing like that. Now let's say you want to see in between 1 and 3, you want to see 1 and 3 index. Okay, so that time you will be passing like this, in double bracket, a square bracket, you will be passing their indexes. Okay, so there is key error because 5 is not in index, so that time it will throw an error. And so now, so suppose you want to suspect, you have a want to suspect some of the indexes, because you get to know there is some error. So that time what you will do, you will take that series, and inside double bracket you will pass the index of those anomalies, and you will see the output like this. Okay, so this is how we basically do when we want to see explicit number of that particular series. Okay, now you have seen that when creating series, pandas automatically decide index number for us. Let's say you want to like explicitly define what my index will be. Okay, so that time you will do same thing. Okay, so you will just add one more parameter. So like I said, you will have to type shift tab to see, I mean, or you can say just you can either go for documentation, or you just put inside help. I mean, you want to see different type of methodologies, so you will be able to see all different type, how they have defined, what all parameter it takes. Okay, so with many example, as you can see, the scroll bar is so small. I mean, you will be able to see so many examples. Okay, so that's how we will be using help basically method to basically see what all functionality it provides. Okay, now let's say, like I said, you can explicitly define index for your series. So now since we have 5 inputs, you have to give 5 indexes. Okay, now let's give us a, B, and it will show you that index. Now you can see, okay, series is explicitly defined by you. Now let's say you have very large number, but thus the index you want to show I mean, it's not humanly writable. Okay, so it's a big series. Okay, now at that time what you will do, you will write a formula inside that particular index. Okay, so let's say you have s2 as a series. Now you want to create a big array. Okay, so that time what you will do, you will add np dot array of range, say let's say 0 to 10, and square it. Okay, like this you will be doing, and then for the index also you will pass the range. Okay, so basically what we are doing here is we are squaring all the ranges. Okay, all the numbers in that ranges. Now what you will do in index, you will pass range between 0 to 10. okay, or let's say 10 to 20 I want to give the ranges. Okay, so this is how you will be explicitly defining range that you want to display. Okay, now you can see the ranges that you wanted, and the square I mean the array that you created is square of every number, and you can you can give different indexes for them. So this is how you basically do explicit definition of uh, uh, you know indexes. Okay, now we'll start pandas. Okay, now panda is more fun. So basically panda is made up of rows and columns, or you can say tabular form. So basically pandas is a widely used data structure for data analysis, and it is a combination of rows and columns, whereas row will have indexes and column will have meaningful names, which is column name, or you can say features. So there are various way of creating data frame. You can either create it, or you can just import like comma separated file, or you can create JSON object, and many way text also, and other files also. So let's see two ways. First is by creating, and another one is by importing one CSV file. So how we will how we create pandas data frame? We basically uh, you know call the pd.dataframe class. Okay, and then inside that we pass dictionary. You remember how we worked with dictionary, right? So this is how we will be working with dictionary. So what you will pass first name. Okay, name is like a column. Okay, so what you want to show on the top of every column, a meaningful name, right? So that time you will be writing name, and for name I want to create 4 rows. Okay, so I will pass 4 values. Okay, ram1. Okay, now you have to give comma, because again you want to create another feature. Okay, let's say that is age. Okay, let's say age is 30, 40, 50 and 60, and let's say we want to give occupation column also. Okay, or anything. And this is how we basically create data frames. Now if you want to see the data frame, just print it, and it will show you a wonderful table. Like on the left side, as you can see, it is index, and on the right side we have column names, or you can say feature name, and inside that we have all the values we have defined here. And this is how basically pandas data frame looks like. Okay, now let's say instead of creating, you want to import it. Okay, so let's say you want to name it df1, and pandas has one another method, that is read csv, and they have many other format. Read excel, if you have excel file. Read json if you have json file. So like that, based on requirement, you will be using other methods also. So for now we have csv file, so we will be reading csv file. Okay, now you have to pass the path. Okay, and inside read csv there is also like other parameter. Like if you want to skip first 2 row, there is a skip row parameter, and then there is encoding. So sometime instead of utf-8 the encoding is different, well, like latin 1. So that type of functionality is also there, because different countries have different type of encoding, so that's why that parameter is there, and so many parameters are there. So you can look that in documentation part, but for now let's read it. Okay, so for me, is there any file available? Okay, yes, I have available inside. Okay, I have some global data market fact csv. So you have to pass the path also. So it's inside pand folder, and then global sales data. Okay, now you will pass the file name. Okay, you have to pass the extension also. Now we'll read the data. Okay, so as you can see, it has shown me that csv file, and this is how basically that particular csv file looks like. It has these many features. Okay, so so you will see that it has already automatically has shown that we have 10 columns and these many rows. Okay, so also you can say it provide functionality to summarize the data set also. So we'll see some of quick functionality of pandas at first. So basically, let's say when you load when you just call df1, no, what happens is it called all the rows inside our memory. And what happens when it calls every row inside our memory get filled with all these data, and we don't want that, because that is not a best practice to do, because we can have 1 GB of data, 10 GB of data. At that time it will crash our system. Okay, so that time we'll use two methods, that is df1 dot head. So basically head means the number of row that you want to show. By default it is 5, but you can explicitly mention here also. Okay, so by default it will show 5 row, or you can explicitly pass that I want to see only 2 rows, so you will pass 2. Now same way we have another functionality, that is tail. Okay, so meaning is same. Okay, so meaning is little bit different. So head means it will show you top rows, and tail means it will show bottom 2 rows. Okay, so that's why tail. So this is how you will be checking top rows and bottom rows. Now pandas also provide some functionality like summarizing, like what all column. Okay, all columns basically. So what you will do, you will type df.info, so it will give you information about every column that you have basically. Okay, so we have these many column. Okay, now it will tell you, do they have any null values or not. Okay, it will tell you what is the data type of that particular column. Okay, it will tell you how many entries we have. Okay, so this is how basically pandas give us summary about our data set, and that is why it is widely used, because it will summarize whole thing. From data types to what is the count of null values, what is the shape, what type of memory, what is the memory usage. It has took around 700 MB in our memory, so all those things it will tell you. Okay, and that is why we use it. So let's move to another functionalities. Okay, now there is also one more summarization method, that is describe. So what it will do is it will basically more deep dive. So basically, so it will work for only those which have numerical data, which have float data type or integer data type. It will work for those only. Okay, now what all information it give, it will give you how many count it has. It will give you what is the mean value, what is the standard deviation, what is the minimum value, what is 25 percentile value, what is 75 percentile value, and what is the max value. So this we will be using these data to estimate like what type of population we have, what type of basically data we have, what is the mean value, what is the maximum value. So in order to basically understand this, remember we were doing like df1, like let's say we are taking sales column and we want the max value of that particular column. So this is how we do it. So instead of doing this, why can't we use this, right? And pandas by default provide us this functionality, so that instead of doing it, we just have to do it. You just have to call describe method, and it will give you for all the features. Okay, and also like if you want to restrict, like I would just want to see for 2 columns, so that time what you will do, you will pass sales. Okay, and then let's say discount, and this way it will give you the description about 2 columns only. Okay, hope you understand how to do it. Okay, and this is how you will be checking description about data. Now let's say you want to see the shape. You remember shape, right? We have done checking for Numpy arrays, so same way we have to do in pandas also. We just have to write shape. Okay, and it will give you what is the number of rows and what is the number of columns. Okay, now let's say you have 100 columns. So what will happen when we have 100 columns? It will won't going to fit into this table, so it will hide like this. Okay, like this, it will hide some of the features. Okay, so to avoid that, but you want to see the names of that feature, so that time what you will do, df1 dot columns, so it will show you name of all the columns like this in an array format. Okay, and you can use it for other some purpose. Now let's say you want to convert this data frame into array format, so that time what you will do, df1 dot values, you will call that values, and it will convert into array. Okay, and so everything is already they have like provided for us. Now you just have to utilize it for your purposes. Okay, and there is another method, that is sorting. Like I told you, I will show you sorting. Okay, so let's say we have data frame and you want to sort it, so so that it can be done in a different way, like ascending order and descending order. So what you will do, you will pass the data frame and you want to sort the data frame, right? Sort index. Okay, now what you will pass, what way you want to index, either column wise or row wise. Okay, so you have to pass axis. So axis means which way you want to sort it, either like row wise or column wise. Like I said in previous tutorials, 0 means column wise, 0 means row wise, 1 means column wise. Okay, so I want to do row wise. Okay, I want to do row wise. Now what is the whether it will be ascending or it will be descending, so you will pass that parameter also. So you can check that using help method, how many parameters they accept, or you can check documentation also. Okay, so let's pass this. I don't want ascending way. Okay, false means obviously descending equal to true. Okay, so it will sort our data in a descending way from I mean bottom to top. Okay, and this is how you will be sorting. You have sorted based on index. Now you want to, let's say you want to sort by values, so that time what you will do, it is very easy. Like I said, pandas has so many functionalities. So instead of sort index, you will pass sort values. Okay, now it will pass your data frame based on value. Now you have to pass, instead of axis you have to pass column name. Okay, so at that time you will pass, let's say I want by order quantity. Okay, so if you want to sort value by multiple column, you can just pass it inside list and it will sort it via two column, based on two columns. Okay, like this you have to pass. And again I have told you what is the best practice. The best practice is to just see for few columns. Okay, so what is the error? Okay, I have missed the comma. As you can see, now the ordering has been done based on order quantity and profit. Now let's say, sorry, shipping cost. So now let's say you want to see for just one column, so you will do this and it will sort it by order quantity. So this is how basic operation in pandas works. So hope you guys have liked it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in next tutorial. Thank you.